Guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So as you can tell based on the title, today I want to talk about handbags that I'm looking at slash bags that are trending slash what is my next potential bag, my spring handbag, as we are kind of sort of getting out of winter and going into spring. To reference back to my wish list, I have 3 to 4 handbags I want to get this year. I really want to be very focused in 2024 but still allow myself enough wiggle room if I want to get something that is unexpected. So the handbag I purchased was the Margot bag, so I did a whole review on that. And then the next bag I purchased, which is technically cheating, but I purchased this with the intention of using it as more so an SLG than a proper handbag, because for my lifestyle this is not a proper handbag, but it does work, and it's the 90s bag. It can fit a phone, it can fit all of the things that probably most handbags can fit. It's more like a bag organizer or like a way to protect the interior of my Margot bag, because I haven't figured out the bag organizer situation for that. I understand this is me totally girl mathing this. For my lifestyle, this is more the way I intend to use this, more like an SLG. I normally just use Louis Vuitton SLGs, or that's how I've used my Louis Vuitton SLGs in the past to be my pouches and whatnot. I'm not someone that really buys into SLGs, like I'm really not. I've been using the same SLGs for a very, very long time, but I am considering looking at what the Row has to offer in terms of organization for my handbags, but this has been such a great purchase. So those are my bag purchases thus far, but as I stated, I really want to allow myself one really substantial handbag purchase this season, whereas last year I had a wish list, but I kind of was uncertain as to what was coming, wasn't as focused, whereas I kind of have like a better sense of what I want this year. But the 3 remaining handbags I'm looking to purchase in 2024 are, I would love to potentially get a clutch pouch kind of handbag. I've been looking at a few different styles, but if I'm gonna be honest, the style that I just keep going back to is the old Celine era bridge clutch. That clutch, oh my gosh, I really, really love it. But I feel like there's been some recent bags that I feel are kind of similar in vibe that I want to talk to you guys about, but that is one bag I am looking at. But again, the prices for that bag on the pre-love market are kind of insane. For me, it's got to be at the right price. We'll see what happens with that bag, as well as what the potential alternatives could be, as well as who knows what Phoebe Philo brings out in 2024. She's going to come out with A2, so we'll see what drops then. The next bag that I have been dreaming of, and I think this is such a beautiful bag, it just totally matches my style, totally matches my aesthetic, and it's the Joseph Duclos. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but the Diane bag, and I just think it is so beautiful. The design, the silhouette, the details, the history, everything about that bag is just absolutely stunning. I may potentially go for that bag this season. And then the final of the potential special wish list bags I would love to get this year in 2024 is I would love a Rouge H Birkin or Kelly. I don't think I'm gonna get a 25 Birkin 25 or a Kelly 25 just because the prices are a little bit steep. I would love to get a Birkin 30 or a Kelly 28. Those would be the right sizes. Those are kind of the 3 bags that I am looking at to get 2024. But one bag that has kind of taken all over social media, I don't know, like I think it was gifted to a lot of influencers and that kind of whole thing, but I actually think it's a really cool bag. I think it's really chic. I actually really quite like it. I think it's very of the now. Yes, it's very trendy, but I think it's cool. Obviously, it was gifted to a lot of people. It's 2024. A lot of bags are gifted to a lot of these influencers, and it's the Alaia Lateco bag. Every time I see it, I'm like, yes, it just looks so cool. It is very trendy. It is very much the silhouette that we are seeing, and I feel we've been seeing that in 2023. I talked about the East-West trends in my handbags for 2024 video, but yes, this is a cool style. For me, I want to see how I feel waiting that bag out for the next 6 months, see how I feel. I'm looking at it, but I want to wait it out. If I'm going to be honest, my heart of hearts, I would really like the bridge clutch. That would be more my version, but I do like this bag and I think it is so cool. Another style that I saw that is very similar that Khaite has recently dropped, it's the Simona shoulder bag. Also very similar, that kind of east-west, minimal branding, but it's about the elongated shape. We saw this on the runway. I think it looks really cool. Again, same kind of way you hold it. It's like a shoulder bag. It's kind of like this really elongated pencil case. I've personally never tried any handbags from Khaite. I've always been curious. Another handbag I just want to mention because I saw this on the website. It's available for pre-order. And if I was just the kind of person where going to events and living that kind of life was my lifestyle, I would love to get this bag. I can imagine someone like Athena Calderon, someone amazing like her, wearing this bag, and it's the Khaite Axel Minaudiere. So this is going for $5,500, okay? Like so expensive, but it's actually 18 karat gold plated. When you compare it to brands like Chanel that used to do gold plating and a lot of these luxury brands, it feels a little bit more luxurious. And the style of this, it's more of that kind of gloccular, abstracted sort of shape. It's not not the same as the Celine bridge clutch. The way you would hold it is kind of similar. If you're that kind of person where you're going to events, I just think this is such a gorgeous bag. Now, continuing on the East-West trend, we have been seeing a lot of East-West bags in general. Now, one style that I talked about in my latest handbags from the Row video, from their recent drop, it's the Row Margot East-West. So this has been a style I've been thinking about more and more. So someone had commented how the length, the base of this bag is around 17 inches. So to me, it is very much in line, the proportions, the silhouette, because I had no idea what the size was based on the Row's website when they dropped this bag, but someone had told me that it's 17 inches. That's quite a big bag. That is pretty comparable. I was looking at what the old school shoulder Birkin dimensions were, and this is pretty on par with that. And as much as I love that this is a long bag, for me, I think I'm just a little bit too petite for those dimensions. I might consider this bag, if I can try an in real life shoulder Birkin and see how that feels on my body and see if I like the proportions, because that's kind of what's holding me back on a lot of these styles. Like, they're very big. I talked about this before, but like just kind of the proportions, I don't know. Ultimately, it's just something new for me, and I just want to try it on or try on bags that are similar before I really consider this bag, because I think it is such a cool style. So if I can go to a consignment store and see how the shoulder Birkin feels on me, it might confirm, or it might just make me want to wait to see if they bring out this style in a smaller size, because I feel in a smaller size this would be the perfect East-West bag for me. And continuing on, another East-West bag I really like, but I said this when this bag was released, looking at the dimensions, looking at the sizes, I think it's just a little bit too big. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking this and I really need to try this on in person, but the Phoebe Philo, the Kit Cabas bag. Okay, this is another bag I am potentially considering getting, but again, if they come up with that bag in a slightly smaller size, I feel I will get that bag. If I had the height and the body to wear these bags, I would love to, but it's just sometimes bags like overwhelm me unless I'm wearing a really big coat. For me to wear a big bag, like that's one thing I noticed whenever I tried to wear my Birkin 35, I needed a big coat, which also how Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen would wear their big gigantic bags, is they would be wearing big coats. As we're moving into spring, summer, I feel like I want a smaller bag. So again, I love the Kit Cabas, I love the Margot East-West. I could potentially see myself getting those if they come out in a slightly smaller size. Right now, I'm looking for those medium small bags, not so much micro or mini bags. I have a lot of those, I don't need any more. Whereas I feel I don't have enough of these medium small bags. That is more my sweet spot slash what I personally like to wear if we're going into spring, summer. Overall, when it comes to these kind of East-West bags, I like how they look. I like the idea of them. I feel like I want to hold off on them. I want to see how I feel in 6 months. Now on to the next two styles of handbags, which are kind of the wild cards, which don't really fit into what I was planning for. But again, you can never really predict things, and that's why wish lists are guidelines. But now the more I think about these styles, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, they would totally make sense. So the first style that I'm looking at is a backpack. Now with the recent drop, we saw the Joe backpack. I think I would really absolutely love that bag in a black. It is sold out. However, I do think on places Matches Fashion, My Teresa, Louisa V. Roma, I'm hoping that one of those places will get this backpack in a black. I love the dark chocolate espresso. I think it is beautiful. When I think about how I would want to wear that bag for more like outings with my son, probably, let's be real, more athleisure and like that kind of look. I have more like black athleisure and stuff like that. Now looking into backpacks from the Row. Now the Row has a backpack that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen have been seen wearing for so many years, like for many years. This is like actually a pretty iconic style. There was a collaboration with Damien Hirst back in the day, and it was sold for like a crazy amount of money. It was one of these handbag collaborations where this bag was going for so much money, but it was also made of crocodile. But anyways, they have the Backpack 11, and I see these bags come up on the pre-love market every now and then, and I'm very tempted, but something that always turns me off with these handbags, because they have the fabric lining and because people use backpacks, like when they have a backpack, they use it, it's always stained, or it makes me feel like a little bit weird when I see that. And I'm sure I could probably take it to the dry cleaners or something like that. I could probably get over that. They are substantially less on the pre-love market than what they go for retail. So again, it's one of these bags that I am heavily considering. What I like about this bag, as well as the Joe backpack, is they don't look like they are strictly backpacks. Like I could wear it more sort of like a bucket style bag, but it does also function as a backpack. And I really do like this style, and I know I could either get it new or pre-loved. I don't know why I want something that is a little bit more pristine. It's a backpack. I'll probably get it mucked up anyways, and I should probably potentially get one of these bags pre-loved. I definitely see the backpack in my life. Realistically, I'd probably use a backpack backpack way more than I would a clutch or a pouch. I'm more so in my mom bag era, and either of these bags, the Joe backpack or the 11 backpack from the Row, I would get so much cost per wear. I could picture myself wearing that bag years and years to come. And another bag that I'm heavily looking at, I just love the Celine Eloise. I think it's a really nice style. And it's one of these bags where I'm like, oh my gosh, I could get so much use out of it. It just looks like super comfortable, super carefree. But if I'm being realistic, I have a lot of handbags. I don't have a backpack. Since that latest drop, I'm thinking I'm more kind of in like backpack mindset. My gaze has shifted towards the backpack. I'm waiting to see if I can get the backpack. I do love the Eloise. I could totally picture myself in the heat of the moment going into a Celine store and just buying the Eloise. Those are handbags that I'm loving right now. I think with a lot of trends, it's good to like wait it out to see how you feel in 6 months. So I'm gonna wait out like the trendier bags, but I do want to pick up a bag for this upcoming spring season. Will it be one of the bags on this list? Will it be one of the OG wish list items that I mentioned earlier? We'll see. Would love to know what your thoughts are and what handbags you potentially see yourself picking up this year. Thank you so much for joining me in another video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.